Very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. My name is Aishwarya Kapoor. Let us start with the headlines. Home Minister to brief all-party meeting about Pulwama terror attack, hold separate discussion with the opposition leaders. Jammu and Kashmir police detain 7 people in connection with the attack. In a stern message, India tells Pakistan it cannot deny the presence of terror groups Jaish-e-Mohammed on its soil. US backs India's right to self-defense, asks Pakistan to immediately end its support to all terror groups. On a day-long visit to Maharashtra today, Prime Minister Modi to inaugurate several development projects. Works relate to railway services, residential, school and drinking water in Yavatammal and Dhule district. US President Donald Trump declares national emergency to fund wall on US-Mexico border without congressional approval. Democrats to challenge the action, calling it a violation of the American Constitution. And Saina Nehwal and PV Sindhu to clash in the final of the National Badminton Championships after Saina beat Vaishnavi Bhale and PV Sindhu overcomes spirited challenge from Ashmita Chaila in the semis. In the men's section, Saurabh Verma and Lakshya Sen to battle it out for the title. The top story this morning, the Narendra Modi government has called an all-party meeting to brief the political parties on the Pulwama terror attack today. The meeting has been convened by Home Minister Rajnath Singh. The parties will be briefed about the attack in Pulwama and the steps being taken by the government so far. The decision to convene the all-party meeting was taken at a meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Security chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday. 40 CRPF personnel were killed and 5 injured on Thursday in one of the deadliest terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir when a Jaish-e-Mohammed suicide bomber rammed a vehicle carrying over 100 kilograms of explosives into their bus in Pulwama. All right, let's get all the updates from our colleague Akhilesh Suman. Akhilesh, very good morning. We saw a rare show of unity among political parties after the Pulwama attack. And in fact, the Congress even extended full support to the government, saying that we are not going to be divided. And today an all-party meeting will be held where the government will brief the parties about the Pulwama terror attacks and the security situation in Jammu and Kashmir. What all can be expected in this meeting today?
It is very important meeting because in such a situation where a terrorist attack has taken place on Indian soil, the government needs to take all political parties in confidence. And when you take all political parties in confidence, you are, in a way, you are taking people into the confidence. And that is why this meeting has been, called. And we hope that, the opposition members will also have a
All right, we'll try to connect back with our reporter Akhilesh Suman. Meanwhile, the Jammu and Kashmir police has detained 7 persons from Pulwama district in South Kashmir in connection with the deadly terror attack. The youths were detained from Pulwama and Awantipora. A national investigation agency team, along with explosives and forensic experts, collected the materials required for a forensic evaluation of the scene of the crime. Now, considering the status of the scene of the crime, the team will continue with the sifting of the material today as well. The suicide attacker was identified as Adil Ahmed from Pulwama. The police are also looking for another local JM overground worker who was instrumental in arranging the explosives. Meanwhile, the army has deployed 9 security columns with air support in Jammu following massive protests over the terror attack in Pulwama in the valley. And India has slammed Pakistan for stating that it had no role in the Pulwama attack carried out by Pakistan-based terror group Jaish-e-Mohammed. Now, India has said that Islamabad could not claim that it was unaware of the presence of the terror groups on its soil, as the links of such outfits to the country were there for everyone to see. In a tit-for-tat move, Pakistan also summoned the Indian Deputy High Commissioner in Islamabad on Friday. And hitting back at Pakistan, Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that Jaish-e-Mohammed has claimed responsibility for the attack and the organization and its leadership are located in Pakistan. India demanded that Pakistan should take immediate and verifiable actions against terrorists and terror groups operating from territories under its control. All right, we have with us Akhilesh Suman joining us on the phone line. Akhilesh, as you were telling us about the all-party meeting that is going to be held today. At the same time, also let us know, the updates on the situation on the ground, because the NIA team is already there. And we also understand that India has, made very categorical its displeasure to Pakistan over the attack, saying that it just cannot, take back its responsibility, because after all, Jaish-e-Mohammed has claimed responsibility for the attack, and it is the organization and the terrorists are located in Pakistan.
Right, that is why in the evening, I will rather say in the late evening, the statement came from Ravish Kumar that when the offenders themselves are claiming them, they are releasing the video, and the leaders of JEM are there in your country, they are sheltered, their offices are there in your country, and how you claim that they are not from Pakistan and Pakistan is behind them? Ministers are sharing stages with them. So in that situation, it is very crystal clear that all those terrorists are Pakistan, and also are being checked that how many calls have been made before that and after that on this issue. So in that way, that there might be enough evidences, and NIA team and forensic team is still there. They are they are checking every thing related to that incident, and not only at the spot, they are also checking kilometers there and here, so that they can understand that how many people were also involved, because it was not just the blast. It is also that some bullets were fired on the buses that were flying on that area in the convoy. So it is a big conspiracy, and India has said that we have never seen that Pakistan has done anything, spoken anything, so that relationship between the two countries can improve. So I think that this is why India has made it very clear to ambassadors of other countries also that yes, this is the situation and this is how Pakistan is supporting terrorism from its own soil. Aishwarya?
Right, Akhilesh, you stay with us. We'll just come back to you. Meanwhile, United States has offered full support to India in confronting terrorism. U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton has told his Indian counterpart Ajit Doval that America supports India's right to self-defense. In a telephonic conversation, John Bolton expressed his condolences for the terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir. He said that U.S. has been very clear to Pakistan on ending support to terrorist safe havens. Earlier, the White House and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo asked Pakistan to end its support to terrorist safe havens inside that country. In a stern message to Pakistan, the White House asked Islamabad to immediately end its support to all terror groups and not to provide safe haven to them, as the US condemned the brutal Pulwama terror attack. All right, let's go back to Akhilesh. Akhilesh, of course, there have been words of condemnation from all across the world, but probably the most stern message really has come out from the United States. And, the United States has said very clearly that it supports India's right to self-defense. And in fact, we saw John Bolton, telephoning Mr. Doval yesterday and expressing his condolences for the attack. Considering that, what kind of action, that India is now looking for and garner international support now against Pakistan and its the terrorist operations that it has been continuing from its soil?
There are two types of actions that is, perceived at this point of time. One is that how to discourage the terrorists from entering the Indian soil, and how to discourage, the terrorist organization operating from Pakistani soil. So these are the two things related to each other. The third thing that is overall, pressurization on Pakistan about this whole terror machines that they have created inside their own territory. And this terror machine is not only impacting India, it is also impacting Afghanistan, it is also impacting Iran, and even Chinese are impacted because of this. So China doesn't want to reveal and how they are getting impacted. So India's, actions are two-pronged. One part of the action will be how to, discourage, how to retaliate this action so that in future this type of incident doesn't happen. And then it will also discourage Pakistan from giving support to them. And other thing that how to isolate Pakistan in this point of time so that Pakistan also try to refrain, and if it wants to have good relation, peaceful relation in the region and also with India, they should come with positive, attitude, not with negative mindset, Aishwarya.
Right, and Akhilesh, as far as the investigation into the Pulwama attack is concerned, we understand that new and fresh revelations really have come out from the team that is there. The preliminary probe has suggested that RDX was not used in the Pulwama attack on the CRPF troopers. What more really has come out? What do we know after 2 days of investigation into the terror attack?
Actually, that the investigation is still going on, and one cannot tell at this point of time that what has been the particular material, because the things are being, collected there, and they will also collect something now. And it is there is a 15-kilometer stretch that is being investigated, and also that there had been saying that it is not just that collision of the car; it is a blast. And it is a blast when the car was there. So in a way that it is really a great forensic exercise that what conclusion they should come. And what we are getting that they are trying to understand that whether it is RDX, whether it is IED might be also there. And this will depend. But the main thing is that, Aishwarya, it is not the material, what material has been used. The major thing that how they have come in this area and who had supported them, what is the local support, and how intelligence could not understand how they come along the convoy and they could blast. So there are so many checkpoints on this in this area. That there are so many barricades, and in such a situation when convoy is moving, these are also the questions that are being investigated. So that there are one thing that what are the local support from them and how they are connected to Pakistan. So these are the things that has to be investigated in coming 4 or 5 days, and in 4 or 5 days some conclusive evidence, on the basis of some conclusive evidence, it will also be shared with some friendly countries who wants to cooperate with us on the issue of terrorism, that how terrorists are working, because it is not about the incident, it is about the tendency,
yes,
that how Pakistan is doing this. And that one day before the terrorist attack inside India, they also attacked in Tehran, and
yes,
in Irani territory,
yes,
that is along the Pakistani border. So the attacks are being in 3 directions. One is Indian territory, another is Iranian territory, and another is Afghan territory. So that one country is surrounded by 3 countries, and it is attacking all the 3 countries. So it is a big question, not a small question. So India is trying to give them the bigger picture of the country that is sheltering terrorists for so long time. Aishwarya.
Right. Akhilesh, at the same time, also tell us about the takeaways yesterday that we saw from the security review meeting that we saw in Kashmir. Rajnath Singh there, he went to Kashmir and he spoke about, separatists there, about their security that is being provided to them. And there was also issue of, the restriction of civilian traffic movement during the movement of the security force personnel convoys.
That is there is a understanding that sometimes it happens that when there is a convoy movement, the civilians face hardship, and in that situation many times they are giving way. And they are giving way so that they can also go along the way, and convoy also can go along the way. But this time terrorists utilized this opportunity that is provided to the civilians, and they came in the car and they collided with the bus, and RDX or explosive device was blown. So in that situation, it has been decided that when convoy is passing, no civilian vehicles should go along with them. And it is a difficult, it is a difficult situation, so that people will be, disturbed for some time. But given the fact that terrorists are using all the opportunities to disturb the civil life, and also this is a lesson for the civilians also, that they should stop all types of elements that are roaming in that area, because at any instance they can understand that who are the locals, what they are doing, and these local intelligence work a lot. And if the security forces get local intelligence, they will also be able to, effectively fight with this menace when the foreign terrorists are trying to recruit local, young people. They are trying to misguide them. So in a way that now this is a great time for cooperation between civilian population and the security forces, and that is why I think civilian vehicles have been told that keep away from convoy, because it's a danger for both of them. If convoy is passing, if there is an attack from the terrorists, then civilians also will be affected. Another thing, that if convoy is passing, civilian vehicles are allowed, terrorists will use the civilian vehicles to attack the convoy, and there will be a collateral damage.
Right.
So that is why, as a precautionary measure, for the time being, it has been told that no civilian vehicles should be allowed to pass when convoy is moving.
All right, Akhilesh. Thank you so much for all those updates there. And all prior commitments of Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman for today and Sunday have been cancelled in the wake of Pulwama attack. The Defence Minister will be visiting Tamil Nadu and Karnataka to pay last respects to Central Reserve Police Force Jawans of both the states who lost their lives in the Pulwama terror attack. On Friday, Sitharaman paid tributes to 40 CRPF Jawans whose mortal remains, wrapped in tricolour, were brought to Parliamentary Airport in the national capital. The nation is mourning the loss of 40 CRPF Jawans in the terror attack in Pulwama in Jammu and Kashmir on Thursday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tribute to the martyrs at the Parliamentary Airport, where their mortal remains were brought in an Indian Air Force aircraft. Wrapped in tricolour, their coffins were arranged for the leaders and officials of the army laid wreaths in a solemn ceremony. Home Minister Rajnath Singh, Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, Tri-Service Chiefs, NSA Ajit Doval, several union ministers and Congress President Rahul Gandhi also paid their respects to the Jawans who made the supreme sacrifice for the country. And earlier, Home Minister Rajnath Singh also paid his last respects to the martyrs in Srinagar. The Home Minister became a pallbearer as the mortal remains of 40 CRPF Jawans were sent on their last journey to their homes. Accompanied by a high-level team comprising officials from the CRPF, NIA and the Home Ministry, Rajnath Singh visited the CRPF campus where a wreath-laying ceremony was held for the Jawans. Let's get you some other news now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be on a day-long visit to Maharashtra today, where he will unveil a number of projects in Yavatmal and Dhule districts. The Prime Minister will inaugurate a residential school at Nanded. Through the process of pressing of a button, the school has a total capacity of over 400 students and is aimed to help in improving the quality of education among tribal students. The Prime Minister will distribute certificates and checks under Maharashtra State Rural Livelihoods Mission to women's self-help groups as well. The Prime Minister will hand over the keys to selected beneficiaries for the e-Grih Pravesh of the houses constructed under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. He will also flag off the Ajni-Nagpur-Pune train through video link. The train will provide overnight service between Nagpur and Pune. At Dhule, the Prime Minister will inaugurate Lower Panazara medium project under the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. The project has a total water storage capacity of 109.31 million cubic meters with irrigation potential of 7,585 hectares, benefiting about 21 villages of the Dhule district. Foundation stone of a Dhule city water scheme under Amrut will also be laid by the Prime Minister to ensure water availability to boost industrial and commercial growth. He will lay the foundation stone of Dhule Nardana railway line and also the Jalgaon Manmad third railway line. The Prime Minister will also flag off the Bhusawal Bandra Khandesh Express train through video line. The overnight train will run 3 days a week and provide direct connectivity between Mumbai and Bhusawal. The exports grew marginally by 3.74% in the month of January due to subdued performance of key sectors including engineering, leather and gems and jewellery. The exports in the month of January stood at $26.36 billion as against $25.41 billion in January 2018, while the imports grew 0.01% to $41.09 billion from $41.08 billion the same period last year. The exports growth has remained almost flat in November and December last year. The trade deficit for January 2019 was at $14.73 billion, down from $5.67 billion a year ago. The gold imports also grew 38.16% to $2.31 billion in January this year, as against $1.6 billion in the corresponding month of 2018. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu will visit Prayagraj today to attend the ongoing Kumbh Mela. He will also preside over the Yuva Kumbh Sammelan and Kumbh Seva Mitra events. During his day-long visit, the Vice President will also inaugurate the 3-day Kiva Kumbh Mela event. All right, let's get all the updates from Ravindra Singh Shuran. Ravindra, what are the updates you can tell us about Vice President's visit to Prayagraj today?
Yes, Ashwarya, in the morning today, later, the Vice President Venkaiah Naidu is scheduled to come here in the Prayagraj, and he will take a holy dip in the Sangam. And after that, he is going to attend some programs also in the city space. See, this is the biggest congregation of the human here in the Kumbh. This time, the facilities of the Kumbhs are quite different than the last events which has happened in different parts of the country. More than 5 crore people they took a holy dip in during the Shahi Snan, which happened last and now the only 2 Shahi Snans are left. Vice President is going to stay here in
All right. Thank you so much for all those updates there, Ravindra. Thank you. And earlier, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu expressed concern over the continuous stalemate in Parliament and the legislative assemblies. Speaking at the release of a book on his selected speeches, Vice President Naidu said that ideal behavior is important than ideology in a democracy. The book was released by former President Pranab Mukherjee. Here are all the details.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has raised concerns over disruptions in the Parliament. Speaking at the book release of a compilation of his selected speeches, Vice President Naidu said that along with the Parliament, the trend of disruptions is also being seen in the state assemblies. Expressing concern over repeated disruptions in the upper house during the recently concluded budget session, the Vice President said that if the House could not discuss the motion of thanks on the President's speech, it is a huge blow to democracy.
If the ruler behaves in a dignified manner, if the various functionaries in public life, parliamentarians and legislators and heads of various departments, if they conduct themselves, the country will be benefited by their rich experience and others also will follow. More than an ideology, ideal behavior is more important. So country is watching. The younger generation have got higher aspirations and expectations. The world is looking to us. So we must behave properly and act together. That is only my wish, and I hope things will improve in future.
Releasing the book, former President Pranab Mukherjee mentioned several portions of Naidu's speeches. Mukherjee said that the time has come when the number of seats in the Lok Sabha should increase.
The Constitution guided us, the legislators, the institutions, and the citizens to forge a nation that secures for all its citizens justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. These goals were to be achieved through a parliamentary system of governance that we chose to ourselves after much deliberation and debate in the Constituent Assembly.
Union Minister Thawar Chand Gehlot and Information and Broadcasting Minister Rajya Singh Rathore also addressed the event. The book, Selected Speeches Volume 1, is a compilation of select speeches given by Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu in more than 400 events. With inputs from Panchanan Mishra, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The top international focus now. US President Donald Trump on Friday declared a national emergency in a bid to fund his promised wall at the US-Mexico border without congressional approval, an action that Democrats vow to challenge as a violation of the US Constitution. President Donald Trump confirmed that he will use emergency powers to build a wall on the US-Mexico border, saying that walls work. Now, building the wall was a key pledge of Donald Trump's campaign, but Democrats have described the move as a gross abuse of power. He later signed the plan along with a spending bill aimed at preventing a repeat of the recent government shutdown. He announced the plan after Congress refused to pay for the wall in a bill. Senior Democrats immediately said that they would challenge the move in the top courts. And hours after Donald Trump's announcement, the Democratic-controlled House of Representatives Judiciary Committee said that it had launched an investigation into the emergency declaration. The declaration will give Donald Trump access to billions of dollars for his wall project.
So I'm going to be signing a national emergency. And it's been signed many times before. It's been signed by other presidents. From 1977 or so, it gave the presidents the power. There's rarely been a problem. They sign it. Nobody cares. I guess they weren't very exciting. But nobody cares. They sign it for far less important things in some cases, in many cases. We're talking about an invasion of our country with drugs, with human traffickers, with all types of criminals and gangs.
Sports news now. Saina Nehwal set up a blockbuster women's singles final against PV Sindhu at the 83rd Senior National Badminton Championships in Guwahati. For the second year running, India's top two female shuttlers will go head-to-head for the senior national title, and it will be a mouth-watering clash. Saina Nehwal took the court against Vaishnavi Bhale in the semi-final and registered an easy 21-15, 21-14 win to advance to the final. An earlier top seed PV Sindhu had staved off a gutsy fight back from Assam's wonder kid Ashmita Chaliha to enter the final. The two-time champion had to claw her way back from 16-19 down in the second game and needed 2 match points to douse the challenge of the spirited fourth seed Chaliha 21-10, 22-20. Last year in Nagpur, Saina Nehwal had outsmarted Sindhu to take on the national title. While Saina Nehwal would want to defend her crown, PV Sindhu would love to turn the tables. In the men's singles, the national champion Saurabh Verma will take on young star Lakshya Sen in the summit clash. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching. Have a great day ahead.